o'clock inside the Footprint Center. The Northern Arizona Wranglers victorious tonight over the Arizona Rattlers, capturing the Western Conference Championship and advancing to the IFL Dollar Loan Center National Championship game, which will be played on Saturday, August 13th. Ed, what an impressive second half performance for the Wranglers.
It was. Winning the Western Conference was not easy for the Northern Arizona Wranglers to walk in this building and knock off the Arizona Rattlers and claim that crown, but they did. They were down 14 at halftime. At one point in the third quarter, they were down 14, but Marquise Bridges intercepts Drew Powell, and that sets off a turn of events, and then the Wranglers continue to rally back, and then they come back. Glenn Gibbons Jr. catches a phenomenal touchdown pass from Caleb Barker toward the end of the game, and then they hold off. Trey Meadows intercepts Powell toward the end of the game and secures the Western Conference crown for the Northern Arizona Wranglers as they will move on to the Dollar Loan Center IFL National Championship game against the Quad City Steamwheelers in a couple weeks.
Some amazing receptions all over the field tonight for the Wranglers. You mentioned Caleb Barker, 6 touchdowns on the night, and the offensive line provided really good protection for him all night long.
They did. In order for him to get those 6 touchdowns, he had to have that protection, and he did. He threw an early interception, which the Rattlers took full advantage of, with Drew Powell getting a 1-yard touchdown run, but still, that was early on. They didn't get down on themselves. They didn't go, oh, woe is me. Now the sky is falling. What are we going to do now? They continued to fight for 60 minutes, and that's exactly what they did. They knew in order to claim this crown, they were going to have to snatch it from the Arizona Rattlers, and that's exactly what they did. They did not let the crowd get into them. They did not let the situations get to them. They handled business, did what was necessary to claim that championship, and in a couple weeks, they will be in Henderson, Nevada for the biggest game.
Absolutely. Credit to the team for staying focused all night long inside a very hostile environment. Over 10,000 plus fans here inside the Footprint Center tonight. And let me tell you, they got their money's worth here this evening. It was a fantastic championship game.
It was, but Wrangler Nation was out here in full force. You saw a sea of red and a sea of blue. A sea of 21 and 22 jerseys were out here in full effect. I know you guys were watching the broadcast, but you were very well represented out here. So this victory is for you, as well as Wrangler Nation that was here. It was a phenomenal game, folks. Let me tell you, the energy level in here was palpable. James and I were up here freaking out, basically. We were calm for the majority of the game, but once it got into the third and fourth quarters, I'm telling you, my heart was in my chest. I'm sure yours was as well, but that was an incredible victory for this organization to go from 1 win last season, 1 to 14, and they are fighting for a national championship. The 15th win will be their first national championship game in their 2-year history. It is a phenomenal turn of events and a change in this organization, the culture shift under Les Moss and the ownership of Trey Medlock and Chris Medlock and Fred DePalma. It is just a complete turnaround, and this doesn't hardly happen in professional sports, James.
It really doesn't. You talk about the underdog story. Now we will be competing against the Quad City Steamwheelers, who advanced last night to the championship game by defeating the Frisco Fighters. Another very close ball game, and that's going to be a fantastic matchup, Ed. Quad City really playing well down the stretch.
Oh, absolutely. They went off and dethroned the champions. They went up to Massachusetts and knocked off the Pirates, and then the following Friday, they went down to Frisco, Texas, and knocked off the #1 seed. The Frisco Fighters were on a 10-game winning streak, but E.J. Hilliard rallies his football team. They were down 7 points with 1:06 to go. He gets the play of the year, in my opinion. He runs it in for a touchdown, and he throws a touchdown to our former colleague Kevin Rudd, who used to play here for the Wranglers. It'll be fun to see him in a couple weeks in Henderson, but it should be a phenomenal matchup out at the Dollar Loan Center for the championship.
And now 2 weeks of grinding ahead here for this Northern Arizona Wranglers club as they prepare for that Dollar Loan Center IFL National Championship game. That'll be played on Saturday night, August the 13th. Time to be determined, but that'll be up at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada, and we'll be on their air with some sort of coverage for that game for you as well, and we're really looking forward to it. Thanks so much for checking us out here, and once again, the Wranglers getting the victory here tonight over the 6-time world champion Arizona Rattlers to advance to the national championship game 52-51 in fine fashion. It was our pleasure to be here for the coverage.
Yes, go Wranglers, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.